Happy Tuesday, friends. Hope your day is off to a good start. I'm AJ Hilton. You're watching CBS News Minnesota Morning Update, so grab that cup of coffee, tea, whatever you need to do. Bubble tea, apparently. That's a new thing. I haven't tried bubble tea, but want to get you up to speed when it comes to your news and your weather. So let's start off talking weather. Some good news here in the Twin Cities today because it is expected to be less humid, which is definitely good news. 81 degrees expected to be the temperature right around noon, and then 4 p.m. only warms up 2 degrees. A little breezy this afternoon. 83 degrees is the temperature. And then 8 p.m. we could be in for a spotty storm. Could be hit or miss showers. 78 degrees. But again, the great news about today, the humidity levels, they've dropped. We also know the dew point levels, those have dropped. So you'll feel comfortable, I should say, when you do walk outside. So that's definitely good news for a Tuesday. The other great news about this Tuesday, we got to talk about this. The Minnesota State Fair just released its list of new foods for this year. So remember, the fair, it is only 44 days away, and we've highlighted some of the items that you can check out this year. Now, one of the things that I'm looking forward to trying this year, along with the funnel cakes, the elephant ears, and the fries, and my wife's going to have the cookies, but that Concha bacon burger, that looks amazing. This is said to be a beef patty, raspberry aioli, lettuce, pepper jack cheese, got some jalapenos on there, some bacon, served on a concha, which is a traditional Mexican sweetbread roll. I cannot wait to get out there because that's one of the things I want to try along with something else. Maybe I'll need something to wash that down, a tasty beverage to wash that down. I'll try the cotton candy, but you can see the other thing. Look at the deep fried ice cream. Get some deep fried ice cream, and we also noticed they have a lot of vegan options too. Here's one, the French Meadow Vegan Entree Earth Sliders and meatballs and marinara. So a lot of different options, but the Minnesota State Fair, the Great Minnesota Get Together, they just released their list today as far as some of the treats that you can expect. Again, 44 days, a lot of different entrees. So if you are watching on Facebook, we want you to leave a comment because we're going to read through some of it in just a minute. So we want to know, what do you want to have at the fair this year? Do you have a favorite fair food? What's your go-to? Is it the fries? Is it the walleye on a stick? We want to hear from you. So leave your comments, your favorite fair food, and we're going to read through some of your comments in just a little bit. Okay, now let's get to your news headlines because there are a couple of stories that we're following this morning, including parents who are demanding changes as far as how crime is handled around the University of Minnesota campus before students return in the fall. And they're asking these questions because crime has risen by 45% in nearby neighborhoods. That's happened over the last 4 years. So now we have parents who want some big changes before students, their kids, start to move back to campus in about a month or so. Standing room only at last night's safety forum at the U. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey tried to reassure the packed house by sharing how the city has invested millions in cameras. The university says it's invested $60 million in the last couple of years for more lighting, a public safety campaign. The city and the university are also recruiting more police officers with increased salaries, also offering retention bonuses. Campus police working closely with Minneapolis police to try to ensure safety for students who are coming back. Meanwhile, a Ramsey County judge says several of Minnesota's abortion restrictions are unconstitutional. The judge struck down the state's 24-hour waiting period, two-parent notification for minors, and a law requiring disclosure of certain information before getting an abortion. Pro-abortion rights groups say this is a victory for access. Anti-abortion advocates say the state needs to appeal the decision. We are getting some new information on what caused the death of a former Golden Gopher and NFL running back. Talking about Marion Barber III. Police down in Texas say he died from heat stroke. He was found inside his Frisco, Texas apartment on June 1st during a welfare check. Frisco, Texas, by the way, is just outside of Dallas. Police say there are no obvious signs of foul play. Remember, the Dallas Cowboys drafted Barber out of Minnesota in 2005. Well, unfortunately, it is not the news that we want to hear. A new strain of COVID is fueling a summer surge across the country. Now, there is some good news. The CDC says cases in Minnesota and most of Wisconsin, they are low. But a new study finds people who get COVID several times do have a higher risk of developing long-term health issues. Doctors say the vaccine is still our best defense against severe illness and death. So just a heads up, but this summer surge, it is starting to take over some parts of the country. But again, the good news here in Minnesota, Wisconsin, things are relatively low. This one right here, I don't even know how to start with this story. We got a guy down in Florida, a Florida criminal, who has tried just about everything he can to avoid police, but they eventually caught up with him. And how they caught up with this guy, you're just going to shake your head. This is 40-year-old Dusty Mobley, caught stealing a boat back in January. He got away by jumping into the swamp, and he swam away from officers. Officers said, we ain't getting in there. Well, yesterday, spotted again. And this time, he tried to outrun deputies by leading them on a high-speed chase. And look at what he used. That is a John Deere lawnmower. What in the world makes you think that you are going to get away from police if you are on a John Deere lawnmower? Nothing runs like a deer unless officers are faster with their, I don't know, squad cars. He's now in police custody. He's facing a long list of charges. You know, sometimes you just, Florida man, guy in Florida. This is a Florida man story. That's what this is. This screams Florida man. The guy jumped into a swamp and then he tried to get away later. Let me stop. Right now in San Diego, it's not shark attacks making headlines. No. It's being chased by sea lions. Check out this video on TikTok. Beachgoers on the run after two sea lions start going their way. So we did get an explanation. A sea lion expert says when males are sparring to get a female's attention, it can cause this type of behavior. Wow, this sounds familiar, doesn't it? So the best thing to do is clearly to get out of the way. But yeah, not something you see every day. Sea lions scaring people off the beach. Let's talk movies now, because we've had all blockbuster movies released this summer. I mean, you think Top Gun Maverick, Elvis, Thor, just to name a few. So we're asking, have you been back to the movie theater yet? Do you feel comfortable? Well, we do know that more people are not only going, they are spending money too. I mean, think about it though. I mean, it costs everything just to get to the movie. Then you got to buy the concessions, you got to buy the sodas, you get the pop, you got to buy the popcorn. Numbers are showing that ticket sales are up. Moviegoers are not afraid to spend more buying those premium tickets, the reserved seats, more boxes of popcorn, got to get the juju fruit. Theaters have been counting, and they say that box office sales have almost reached the same numbers as the summer before the pandemic. It's just a 12% difference now, so more people are going. We'll probably see a drop in numbers from August to October, which is typical because not as many big-name movies are released, but theater owners are hoping what's left of the summer will carry them into the new year, especially, once you get to October, then you start thinking about Oscars, and then you've got a slew of movies that are released because those are trying to get the Oscar attention. So we'll have to wait and see what happens at the theater. All right, let's get back to today's talker. Let's see what you're saying when it comes to fair foods. Do you have a favorite fair food? Todd says, always have to stop for Sweet Martha's Cookie Jar chocolate chip cookies. Todd, yes, you are correct. The line for those cookies is so long, and it doesn't matter when you go to the fair, there's always a line for Sweet Martha's Cookie Jar chocolate chip cookies. That's always a favorite at the state fair. Becca says deep fried olives. Really? Haven't had deep fried olives. Here's the problem. I feel like I'm going to pack on an extra 15 pounds just going to the fair and eating all this food. Some great suggestions. Lisa says, good morning, funnel cake. Lisa, ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. Funnel cake, I don't even need the preservatives on top. Just get some of that powdered sugar on top, and we are working. And it's a good funnel cake when the paper plate you have, it's soaking with grease underneath. That's how you know it's a good funnel cake. I see you, Lisa. Cindy says, I love the good classic fried cheese curds. I can't go to the fair and not get some. Cindy, I know exactly what you mean. There's just like that one food you just have to have. It's like you have an antenna. You smell it, it's like, okay, cheese curds, there we go. So that's a great option too, the fried cheese curds. Jenny says, it's fun to see some of the more ethnic foods on the list. Yes, it really is. We have such a diverse group of people who live in the state of Minnesota, so it's nice to see some of that same cuisine represented at the Great Minnesota Get Together. So that's what you're saying when it comes to fair foods. That is your morning update from CBS News Minnesota, your only local streaming news service. Thank you for watching. Hey, you guys want to do this again? We'll see you back here tomorrow, 7:30, same time.